You compare your model of the universe with DNA. Can you explain how that works?
Sure, but before I do that, let me say this. Although the universe is a perfect design, life for us lower consciousness is anything but. Any kind of chaos can and will occur as we progress to higher thought levels. Evolution is a struggle for species that often become extinct, and consolation is a struggle for individuals enduring great hardship in certain lifetimes. However, the alternative would be much worse, and that would be a single God overlapping a single black hole, without the courage to experience the cycling of trillions of bits of individual consciousness, elevating up the graduated links of life form perspectives back to the God level. One could say the excitement of the journey is greater than the bliss of the train stop at the end of the line, because it has all the pitfalls that infinite complexity provides, which perfection cannot. Perfection of consciousness in this case is uniform, so enjoy the full expression of complexity while you can. Personally, I'm avoiding the train station at the end of the line, not because I fear it, but because I like all the trappings of this matrix we call reality.
Mm-hmm. So now you're about to compare your model to the design of DNA?
Yeah, when this theory reached a certain stage of completion, I sought a naturally occurring comparable design in order to make an intellectual argument in support of this theory. DNA has the most complex naturally occurring design, and thus represented the most obvious candidate for such a comparison. Now, as we can see here, DNA has two parallel polynucleotide strands that for design purposes I'll refer to as two primary, with four sets of repeating nucleotides between them, which I'll refer to as four subordinates. So there are two primary with four repeating subordinates, and what we get from this design are infinite possible configurations of life forms. Now, if we draw science's viewpoint of the universe, it's a single primary with mass in the third dimension, which has four constant force subordinates: gravitation, electromagnetism, strong atomic, and weak atomic forces. But this is the part that's intriguing. Compare these designs, and what you see is the universe, according to science, is less complex than DNA. But more importantly, all you get out of this design is one black hole, because there is no peaked energy consciousness to transfer its energy into the mass to cause a Big Bang.
Okay. Is there a theosophical universe design?
Yeah, their design has one primary, God in the fifth dimension, with four constant force subordinates: consolation, contramagnetism, strong motaic, and weak motaic forces. So again, there's one primary and four subordinates, and out of this design we get one primary, God. But since there is no mass to transfer its thought energy into, again we have no Big Bang.
Well, this is a convergent design then.
Yeah, if we are to converge these two designs, let's say we want to converge science and theology, then we start to view this universe as having four pairs of forces. So we connect these two primary forces. We connect these two forces, these two, and these two. And what do we see here? We see that these are the two cycling forces of mass and consciousness. We see these are the two forces present in life forms. We see that these two forces here are when mass and consciousness are in their expanded form. And what we see here is that when they're in their most compressed form, this force is what takes over. But more importantly, it's more complex than DNA, because this design has four pairs of constant forces versus four single repeating nucleotides. Needless to say, it seems clear from these comparisons that the design of the universe must always exceed in complexity any design arising out of it, even DNA. That's a self-sorting position, self-supporting position, because how could any other design do more than the design of the universe?
Yes, that seems pretty clear. Does that comparison provide a definition for the design of the universe then?
The best designs are the simplest to achieve what's needed. The design of the universe is no different in this regard, and is therefore defined as the compression of two forms of substance equal in quantity, existing in parallel dimensions, with the dimension of time as a link between them. Their energy fields differentially expressed, providing sacrifice of energy to the other, facilitating an oscillating universe.
Well, is there a way we can easily view that definition?
Let's plot it on a triangle. Let's erase this the best we can. It's not the best eraser in the world, but let's take a look at this.
Okay.
Just use a different color here. Let's use white again. We can draw the universe out in a rectangle, and it'll really simplify things. I mean, we've been talking about a lot of different ideas here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's sort of bring it all together with this rectangle. Now, if we look at this line here and we say this line is the beginning of the new universe, and this right here is the duration of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and right here, this is the big crunch complete.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at the conclusion of this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And we say that this line here is minimal energy. Or let's use a minus. I like to use a minus for minimal, even though there is some energy there. And this line here is peak energy. So at the beginning of the new universe, if we were to plot consciousness, it would be right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's at minimal, we're in the new universe. And where's mass? Mass is right here, right? It's peaked energy, we're in the new universe, we've got hydrogen. So, over the duration of the universe, this mass is losing its energy. It's burning it in suns. It's sacrificing it for consolution, for the compression of mass, and for energy for consolution to take place in life forms. And while that's going on, this consciousness is gaining energy. It's elevating to higher levels. And then when we get to here, consciousness is now at peaked energy, and mass is at minimal energy. And then you have the transfer of energy into the mass from the God consciousness, and you have the sacrifice of energy from mass back to consciousness. And so you have the infinity symbol.
The infinity symbol. I was
Yes.
just seeing that, yeah.
The night that I thought of this, see, I was playing with thoughts. I was developing the theory. And it occurred to me that over time, over the duration of the universe, mass is losing energy. And I thought, well, okay, well, what's happening to consciousness? I thought, well, consciousness is gaining energy. And then it hit me all at once. Mass is at minimal at the end of the big crunch. Consciousness is at peak. And then there's a transfer.
Yeah.
And that, when that hit me, it was on Christmas Eve, 2005. And it was quite a moment.
That's very elegant, very elegant.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you've obviously given a great deal of thought to the design of the universe and its energy interactions. However, I couldn't help but wonder where the substance of the universe, mass and consciousness, originally came from.
Yes.
Where did it come from?
From where? The answer is, I have absolutely no idea. and in a sense, maybe that's the greatest mystery, or if you prefer, miracle of all. Where did all this stuff come from? I mean, even if you can explain in some scientific context a highest form of consciousness, that's provocative, certainly, but where did it come from? And where did it create a second substance, mass, that can parallel its own compression? In any case, what does seem clear at this point is this universe expansion is just one of many that have probably occurred.
Because it oscillates.
That's right.
Yeah.